Welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, the channel where two wheels are more than just transportation, they're a lifestyle, a statement, and in today's case, a legacy reborn. What happens when Harley-Davidson reaches into its legendary past and brings back one of its most iconic names? You get something raw, mechanical, unmistakably Harley, and now, thoroughly modern. The 2025 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead is here. And it's not just a tribute, it's a full-fledged revival of old-school soul wrapped in modern muscle. In this video, we take you deep into the design, the engineering, and the attitude of this bold new machine. Whether you're a longtime Harley purist or just someone with a passion for timeless bikes with a new age twist, this is one you're going to want to watch till the end. The first thing you notice when you walk up to the 2025 Knucklehead is that it's not trying to be futuristic, trendy, or overstyled. It's proud of where it comes from, and it shows. The front end is unapologetically retro. You've got that iconic teardrop headlight nestled in a minimalist nacelle, throwing out a powerful LED beam but shaped in a way that harks directly back to post-war motorcycles. The front forks are beefy, yet classic in appearance, with exposed springs giving it that old-school girder feel even though it's using modern suspension internals. The front fender is a sculpted metal piece of art, tight, functional, but dripping with vintage flair. Even the paint options are steeped in heritage: deep metallic reds, flat blacks, vintage cream and chrome combinations, all of which would look just as home in a museum as they do rolling down a desert highway. Move around to the side, and you realize the 2025 Knucklehead isn't just retro for the sake of it. It's muscular. It has presence. The peanut-style fuel tank features embossed Harley badging with vintage fonts, layered over a deep gloss paint finish that reflects like a mirror. The tank flows downward into a single-piece leather saddle with deep padding and visible stitching that just screams handcrafted quality. The frame has that signature hardtail look, as straight lines, low-slung stansia, but hidden underneath is a modern monoshock rear suspension that delivers comfort without compromising aesthetics. The exposed pushrods, the polished cooling fins, the chromed pipe, all of it tells you this bike wasn't designed on a computer first. It was sketched with emotion. Even the air cleaner cover has been shaped in a way that mimics the original Knucklehead design from the 1930s and 40s. The rear section completes the vintage modern hybrid with grace. The fender is thick, metal, and wraps tightly over a beefy rear tire. There's no plastic in sight here, just chrome, steel, and paint. A classic round tail lamp sits dead center, glowing with LED brilliance but styled like a relic from a different era. Side-mounted license plates and turn signals give it a custom feel, but everything is factory fit. The saddlebag mounts are minimal but functional, letting riders add leather or canvas bags without disrupting the silhouette of the bike. The exhaust system runs along the right side via dual pipes stacked low, with a deep rumbling tone that will turn heads every time you twist the throttle. At the heart of this machine lies what might be Harley's boldest modern move via an all-new oil-cooled V-twin engine designed to pay tribute to the original Knucklehead's shape while delivering real-world performance. Clocking in at 1350 cc, the new Knucklehead motor retains the distinctive valve cover design that gave the original its nickname, but the internals have been brought into the 21st century. You're looking at forged pistons, electronic fuel injection, ride-by-wire throttle, and variable valve timing. Harley hasn't published exact power figures, but early dyno readings suggest around 90 horsepower and 110 Nm of torque, more than enough to throw you back in the saddle without breaking the nostalgia. The engine is mated to a 6-speed gearbox, sending power to the rear wheel via clean and quiet belt drive. Fire it up, and the soul of the machine comes alive. The startup sequence is a fusion of classic and contemporary. The starter whines for just a second before the V-twin catches with a deep, visceral roar. The idle is lumpy, throaty, and unmistakably Harley. But unlike older air-cooled motors, this one is smooth once you get rolling. The throttle response is instant, the torque is linear, and the ride is far more refined than you'd expect from something that looks like it was dragged out of 1947. The clutch pull is lighter than old Harley's but still has some weight to it, enough to make every gear change feel mechanical, deliberate, and satisfying. On the road, the 2025 Knucklehead is a paradox in the best possible way. It feels heavy when you're standing still because it's ice, but once you're rolling, it handles like a well-balanced cruiser. The low center of gravity, the wide bars, and the planted rear tire give you confidence even in tight corners. It's not made for knee-down performance riding, but it's no slouch either. The modern suspension setup soaks up bumps and rough patches far better than anything Harley was making even a decade ago. High-speed stability is excellent, and the 6th gear makes highway cruising at 75 miles per hour feel effortless and smooth. In city traffic, it's manageable but clearly prefers open roads. Lane splitting isn't exactly its forte, but if you've bought a Knucklehead, odds are you're not in a hurry. Braking is handled by dual-disc brakes at the front with ABS and a single disc at the rear. The feel is strong and progressive yet again, a big step forward compared to older Harley models. Harley has also added selectable ride modes road, rain, and custom, all of which subtly adjust throttle sensitivity and traction control to suit the rider's needs. Cruise control is standard, and so is keyless ignition. The instrument cluster is a modern digital-analog hybrid, a round, centrally mounted gauge with a needle tachometer and a small digital screen embedded within, showing gear position, fuel range, trip meters, and more. Fuel economy is respectable for a bike of this size and character. You can expect around 40 to 45 miles per gallon, or roughly 17 to 19 kilometers per liter, depending on your riding style. The fuel tank holds around 4.5 gallons, or 17 liters, giving you decent range before you need to stop and fill up. It's not a touring bike by spec, but it's entirely capable of weekend trips and even longer journeys if you are willing to pack light or add saddlebags. Now for the big question: how much does it cost to own a slice of Harley history reimagined for today? The 2025 Knucklehead starts at approximately $19,999 for the base trim, with special paint options, spoked wheel upgrades, and custom seats pushing the price closer to $23,000. It's not cheap, but then again, this bike isn't about affordability, it's about emotion, craftsmanship, and legacy. In markets like India, Europe, and Southeast Asia, pricing will vary based on import duties and local taxes, but wherever you buy it, it's positioned as a premium, heritage-rich cruiser for true enthusiasts. So what's the final take? The 2025 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead isn't just a throwback, it's a celebration. It's Harley reaching deep into its roots, pulling out something iconic, and making it truly rideable for the modern age. It doesn't try to be a sport bike. It doesn't try to be a tech marvel. What it does is remind you why motorcycles became cool in the first place. The sound, the stance, the soul. If you've ever dreamed of riding something that looks like it rolled straight out of a black and white photograph but feels like it belongs in 2025, this is the bike you've been waiting for. Thanks for watching our in-depth review of the 2025 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead, right here on Global Bike Buzz. If you love this kind of old meets new motorcycle magic, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you never miss a beat from the global motorcycling world. Got questions, comparisons,